Hi, slugs. So today's episode is my favorite that I think we've done in a really long time because we got to know each other. It was good. I don't know what to tell you.
We didn't see each other inside each other. I feel like when you say that, people think it's going to be sexual.
But it's actually so much more than that.
Yeah.
Don't you agree? Like,
I totally agree.
We just got into
real.
it.
We got
I feel
real.
like Khalyla finally let us know that.
What her name, who she is. She finally let us be her friends.
I'm like so grateful right now. You guys, I and Annie, we do stand-up comedy, and we're going to tell you where we're going to be. So in May, this coming month soon, I'm going to be in Minneapolis and in Chicago and Denver. And you can get tickets at EstherOnIce.com. And I think Sleepover might finally be back. Check out sleepoverbyesther.com to see if there's a new drop. If not, there'll be one soon.
All right. What's up, sluggies? I am so excited to be on the road. I've been having the most fun with you. The stand-up is fun, but the meet and greets are insane. I love when you guys come take pictures with me. I will be in San Jose, California. I will be in Dania Beach, Florida. I will be in Omaha, Nebraska. Then in June, I will be in St. Louis, Missouri, Houston, Texas, Burbank, California, West Nyack, Austin, Texas. Just go to annieletterman.com/shows. It's unbelievable to meet you. I can't wait to see you guys. If you've already been, please come again. I love you.
By the way, Annie, taking off the toupee from the live show.
Very hard, right?
Yeah. Is that why you really did it? It's like you gave me this crazy chore.
Well, that's a fun bonus. I really honestly did not know that would happen, but
it was 2 hours.
I was trying to give you.
It's like getting someone a pet.
Or a turtle that lives longer than you, and you can't touch it. If you touch it, you could die.
You have to set a savings account aside to take care of it when you're dead.
You leave it to you just have kids just so they can take care of your turtle. Okay, wait. So
his toupee.
So
I wanted it to get cut. Like I wanted you to have like a fly haircut. I didn't know it was going to be placed atop your head. Like
also the fact that she put glue on your existing little baby hairs.
I thought she was going to shave it down.
I thought so too. And I could kind of see from a distance, but I didn't want to like alert you and scare you because I didn't want you to back out of it. But in my mind, I was like,
you to try to back out, and I wanted you to see what happened.
No, I was never going to back out of that, but it definitely hurt so much taking it off with the adhesive.
Plucked it. It waxed your head.
Because I called him that night. I was like, just so you know, when you take that wig off, like I know you like your baby hairs, so like use an oil to try to. Did it work or no? Like
it like 85% worked.
Do you have to use acetone?
I used what the lady gave me, the adhesive.
Oh, tell them about you went to.
Oh yeah, and I like left my adhesive here, and I was all the way in Burbank, and so I went to some salon, and it was all old ladies, and I was like, "Hey, this is a toupee."
They were like, "No shit." They're like, "You say a toupee?"
They were redirecting me to Sally Beauty, which I guess is a big chain to find the adhesive.
Weren't they like all excited
you did
about
not know what Sally Beauty Supply is.
I didn't know what it was.
You are not gay. This is your coming out. You're straight.
That I'm straight. Thank you.
Sally Beauty. Like you just heard of it for the first time? Carlos
That's like kind of cool though that I don't know what Sally Beauty is.
No, I don't. Being gay or straight is not cool. Neither is uncool or cool.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to be
honest.
We want to know what you are. So
I've told you for years, 10 years, I'm straight.
Okay.
So what are the rumors circulating?
It's confirmed now because of the Sallys.
What are the rumors circulating about Carlos, Esther?
One rumor is that he and you have like a side thing going on sexually.
Like I have male friends in my bed all the time, but it's just I don't know. I just don't see it as any different if it's like truly there's no sexual feeling.
No, this is my feminist
like Carlos
platform.
could literally like I give him permission to.
Those are your feminist platforms.
Literally.
Like when he was adjusting my vagina for the live show, like I feel so comfortable doing that.
But why? Can we break down why? Is it because you know you're not going to fuck him?
Well, he's been here before.
He's not going to try to fuck you. Yeah, because you're. He's
No,
an
well,
old
you
pal,
know.
that puss.
He's been eating out my pussy for the last 2 years.
Oh, God.
So it's more than a comfortable thing for me. He's been Bobby's stand-in.
You know what I was thinking about?
Similar height.
Similar height, very different body shape.
Okay, so I got a massage when I was in Arizona. I went to Sedona a couple weeks ago for a little spiritual journey.
If this doesn't end with you getting molested, I don't want to
I
hear
didn't
it.
get molested, but I wanted to ask you guys if you have this feeling too, where I'm sure there will be a new molestation at some point. I'm sick of mining these old molestations. I know there's hundreds of them. but it's
Annie, we need new.
new molesteds. No, poor Todd will defend me.
I know, but let's really bait them this time.
We can't ask for it.
We need
It's
new
not gonna work.
stories.
But okay, wait. So all right, so I'm getting this massage, and one of my mentors lives out there, and he was like, "You should get a massage from this guy." And he was, of course, so hot. My mentor's gay, so it was like the hottest guy. And he was like, "No, he's really good." I'm like, "Okay, really? Is he a good massage?" Like he ended up being a great massage therapist. I forgot his fucking name. I'll say it on Instagram. But super good looking guy. And I was like gonna shave my legs before just to not be embarrassed. But I do that when I get pedicures too. I always want to I don't want to. But then I realized that's actually giving into some sort of thing where I'm trying to seem attractive or perfect to other people who are not in my life sexually. But I was going to say, do you feel like if you go get a massage or even I've been going to the egg doctor and I'm like, I kind of don't want to shave my pussy before I go. I don't want there to be I don't want to look good there.
Well, can I say something crazy I learned on TikTok this week?
Yeah.
That women shaving their legs and underarms was invented because razor companies wanted to sell to women. It's all it was a money scheme. It's nothing.
Yeah,
There's no
but
reason.
it's so hard to unprogram that in your head. That to me is really hard because when I do see a woman
It
with
might be
hairy
hard
legs,
for you.
it's been very hard for me with you. When we were at Whitney's over the pandemic, Esther took her pants off, and it was. I mean, was this the first time we were meeting Olivia?
Oh, maybe it was.
I think it was we're gonna leave, and then it was Olivia Munn's coming over. We could hang out a little bit longer.
And at that point, you weren't thinking, "Oh dear God, I have to find a razor."
No.
Olivia
Esther's
Munn's coming.
Esther don't give a shit. But
I
it was
really
so
respect that
funny.
about you.
Yeah, I wish I had a story behind it. It's just I just don't shave often.
She had.
I know what you mean though, Annie, because before I got here, I was at a dermatologist.
Yeah, I know. I was just gonna say her skin looks really fucking good.
That's not what he said. I have a really bad eczema outbreak on my that I
It's
covered
hidden.
with makeup.
It's
Yeah,
hidden.
on my chest and in my.
Thank you, Milk.
Thank you, Milk. But I also have a couple dry patches on my torso and my body, and one in between my ass crack. That's just an eczema patch. Right?
Wow, I've only seen that part wet. I can't imagine that being dry.
Glazed,
Just
how I've seen it.
Yeah, it's like a delicious donut, like a nice half Filipino
Moist.
donut.
Moist.
And I felt the same. That thought did cross my mind. Should I, appear a certain way?
Yeah.
And he was a male dermatologist.
But it's sick. It's
but why am I thinking this?
Yeah, and you're literally molested by a doctor. It's it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
what is in our heads that just keeps going?
And usually I go really fucked up looking to the doctor. I actually kind of looked okay. And I'm like, oh my God, I did this. I did it again.
What do guys expect from us? What do you want from us? It reminds me of when I was in middle school and high school when you had two options of either being a cock tease or a slut.
Yeah.
There was no other fucking option. It's
What were you, Esther?
Absolutely neither.
But you
Too
don't
short
remember
for them to
that?
ask her to be there.
Too short for anyone to notice I was there. Yeah, no, I had one boyfriend in high school though. And yeah.
Yeah.
I had a boyfriend in high school break through my window. The head of the bed was to my window, and I used to live by Marshall High School in Pasadena, and he played for the baseball team in Marshall High School. And I guess I fell asleep and I didn't pick up the phone the night before.
Oh my
so
God.
he broke through my window, and he from the window, because my head was to the window, he punched me awake.
Wait, what is
Yeah.
this story? Wait.
Just punched me
How
awake.
old were you? Were you
16.
your high school and what
High school boyfriend.
did
He
you
was the tooth fairy. He was trying to grab some teeth. He was trying to get some teeth.
He broke the window. Who paid to fix it?
No. My window, he didn't smash through the window. My window was where I would go in and out of the house.
He smashed
You know.
through her words
Yeah,
window.
so he opened the window. He pried the window open. It was one of those things that would swing open. My head was through the window, and I was probably like
It's
this.
so good.
And he was like, "You fucking slut!" And then he punched me straight down. And I was like,
Anything that happens when you're asleep, because I've had a boyfriend who used to wake me up screaming at me while I was like dead asleep that I didn't suck his dick enough. I literally, my TMJ would be, I'm like, I'm grinding my teeth because my TMJ is so tight from sucking your dick so much. But like a violent, like obviously being punched is different, but like being screamed at to like, you fucking whore. I'm like, you're in a fucking dream. You're like floating. You're doing something cool. Maybe you're naked at school. Worst case scenario.
my sister dated a guy once where he needed to drain his balls every night. That was his thing.
No, that was like this
Why
guy.
must you say it that way?
I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, because it's like he had to extract the poison.
Yeah, extract
From
the
his
poison.
snake?
Yeah. So when she would deny him the drainage, my sister would be like, he would just sit in a dark corner in the bedroom and start ripping pillowcases.
Yes.
And she would
he
see
has
like
the same
the
disease as
feathers.
mine.
Yeah, the feathers kind of just do this in the dark. And she was like, it was so fucking
What if
creepy.
he was like fucking the thing? And that's what it was. Like the feathers were just going. But that's the thing too. It's like get a pocket pussy or something. It's like you can only do because I was in the spin of the toxicity of this relationship too. Like I was like, okay, I'll obey you, I guess. But I could only do so much. You could like it was crazy. Like I would fuck him like 3 times a day.
Oh my God, Annie.
And then I would suck his dick sometimes, but it was hard to suck it. I have fucking a medical condition.
You guys think the doctors know?
It was honestly, I mean, I should
To get
have.
some sleep?
I fucking should have. I should have the doctor call in the middle of the night. Like, I know that I page him, like, it's happening again.
Honestly, sex every day is boring.
It's just not.
It's boring.
But here's the thing, and we did have good sex and stuff, but it wasn't enough for him because he was quenching some sort of thirst that would never be quenched because he's sick.
And
He's a sick
even good
person.
sex every day eventually just becomes boring.
Can I tell you? Okay, so I don't know if I should even. I don't like. I do want to keep things private, but also it's like Todd and I had this conversation.
We're in the wrong
I think
profession.
I think this is good for people.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no privacy. I've never kept a secret in my life. I can keep other people's secrets, which is so weird. That's my codependency.
I actually in the same way. Like when it comes to me though, I will just spill it. But
I know it's hard. Well, because it's like whatever.
Yeah.
You don't even shave your pussy. Who cares? Esther was wearing. It was a long sleeve shirt too of a. The swimsuit was like long on the top and then it looked like it was long on the bottom and then you realized it was just a bikini bottom. But her pussy hair was so long it looked like board shorts.
Look, if you're gonna have this thick luscious hair on top, it's gonna transfer over to all parts.
And that's why I have clip-ins all over my asshole.
That's actually untrue because a lot Asian women have very beautiful, like thick hair, but they're hairless in the legs most of the time. So
She's
sorry about that.
She's being so
Esther.
cocky about it too.
Of course.
Wait,
the
what were we
Asian
just talking about
girls.
when I just interrupted myself? Oh, okay. So Todd, Todd and I was like, we gotta fuck because we hadn't fucked in a while. I was like, we gotta fuck or whatever, and we were like making out and stuff. And then like I was trying to,
We gotta fuck.
I was trying to squirt him. I was just getting like really. I started to just get in my head about like how I hadn't fucked him in a while, and I was like getting like so upset with myself. And I was like, I'm just like damaged and all this stuff. And Todd was like. There's nothing wrong with you. He's like and then he was like, he's like, we're normal. We decide what's normal. We decide what's healthy. It's not what other people do. And it was just so I'm like,
said this?
yes, Todd is a king. He is the number one. And his ego is not attached into like getting pussy. Like, you know how so many guys like they need to get your pussy. It's not even about fucking you or like being with you or having that connection. It's like getting your pussy. Let me have that or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not all guys, it's just a certain type of guy. But Todd's like, we live in this like industry with these fucking guys that just want to fuck everyone. Like they're sick. Those are the people that are like, they can't keep their dick in their pants. They have to fuck. They never feel good. It's never enough. He's like, those people are the unhealthy people. We're not the unhealthy people.
I love what he said. Like, you guys decide what's right for you. And I, like, as someone who's been in a relationship with the same person for almost 10 years, like, I am so over the friends I have who are like, we we have sex 4 times a week. I'm like, that's a lie. You're lying, or you've been together for less than a year. Like,
they have an upswing. They're having an upswing.
They also might have matching love languages, which are physical touch. Like, it just like depends. Like, it's just my intimacy. Like, Todd and I are very cuddly and stuff like that, and we still fuck, but it's just like it's not the number one.
Yeah, a
way
healthy
we,
sex life can look any way you want it to look.
Right, because I think the unhealthiest sex life I ever had was something similar to Annie's, where I felt obligated to have sex with my partner every night for 4 years. And one could say, oh, we fuck every day. I mean, that sentence alone would make another person feel like, oh, I'm inadequate. I'm not fucking every day. But if she were to ask more, I'd be like, I hate it, actually.
Yeah.
I'm not happy.
Great.
You know, this is not, what I want. I just feel like somehow things are not going to be good in our relationship if, we don't partake in that like every night,
I know. And it's so weird because you do have I think Dr. Drew said that, where it's like you get like almost like sexually bipolar, where it's like sometimes you're on, sometimes you're off. But I realize like how much is that, I'm trying to like reevaluate how much of all of this has always been about like looking good to men, pleasing men, some sort of like reliving this fucking shit I went through over and over again. And it is like, it's hard to sift through that. And now that I'm in like a healthy relationship, it's so nice to not have to like, there's no pressure put on me. And that sucks because I know there's a lot of people who the men are just like really hypersexual and the women just can't like keep up. Like, it sucks. And that's something you have to work out or whatever, but it's just.
Right.
And I know sometimes you gotta just.
It's weird. It's weird to be with someone for a very, very long time and expect to feel that just magnetism to them, right? Like, I mean, even for Bobby, like, I know when he first met me, like, we were very sexual with one another.
Speaking
we would
of
have
sexual,
sex
everybody chill.
Multiple times a day. We were very attracted to each other. It was very animalistic. But as the years went on, he became very deeply addicted to porn. And I felt then very like secondary to that porn, because that's eventually what he preferred, because number one, it was convenient, it was fast, and it was something that he could do alone without engaging, without the work of having to engage with a partner, right? And he'll talk about this openly, where even in the last 3 years of our relationship, like, that's been such a sore point for us, the fact that I almost convinced myself that maybe I could be in a relationship without sex at all, because I was like, okay, maybe what I'm feeling is maybe I've become asexual, or maybe I don't need sex, or maybe because something unhealthy was happening in our relationship. And I just felt, how do I say, like, I just felt that like completely physically useless. I stopped doing my nails, doing my hair, looking pretty, wore sweatpants all day. And I almost desexualized myself because I didn't want to be hurt. Like, it hurt me so much that he had chosen this alternate option for sexual release.
Right.
And, eventually we got to, it wasn't until last year where everything sort of came to a head. And, he said something to me that I never felt there was nothing I could have heard that was more earth-shattering to me, which is, it would bring me relief if you had sex with someone else. Like, it verbatim out of his mouth. And he said this in therapy. It would, and this is not Bobby speaking. This is addict Bobby speaking.
Right.
This is someone addicted to porn. This is someone addicted on, who had committed to relapsing on drugs. This is somebody for 3 years has been a dry drunk. And I felt very like sexually neglected. And he straight up looked me in the face and said, it would bring me relief if you had sex with someone else. And I remember crying for a whole week. I remember just being like, I don't know. Like, I think that my pussy left my body in that moment. Like, I was like, well, let's just.
I think there's a lot of people out there with catcher's mitts on right now. Let me catch that
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, and then when people view us, they think, oh, they're in a, perfect decade-long relationship. And this is what I'm here to tell you guys, is that sex is a very, very complicated, layered thing. I'm somebody who's sexually abused. Bobby is someone who's sexually abused. Maybe we were like sort of ambivalent and dancing around this idea of both being sort of sexually broken people coming into this union together and trying to sort of think that we're supposed to be this
But it's
healthy
not that
unit.
simple.
But it's not that simple,
No,
you know? And finally, we're at a place now where we can like tackle it head on. And we can do it in an honest way.
That's so funny. I imagine you guys fuck like sumo wrestlers, like you literally tackle each other.
But it's still such a big barrier for us because we've been so almost like we're intimate, like in the sense that we hug, we kiss, we do all that. But it's such a big barrier for us. And it's been years since we've truly sort of like been or felt super sexual towards each other. But it doesn't mean our relationship is not working. Our sexual relationship is not working.
Well, it's just things you have to keep checking up on too, because it's like everyone like changes and evolves, but it's like when you can't be honest with each other, or like how that must have felt for you when he said like that it would be a relief for him, where you're like, what now? Like my natural, like the things that I need in life are like a burden on you or whatever is what I would get. That's how I would have felt. If I
also go back to what Todd said. It's like, we are making this up as we go. There's no, just because like the people who came before us did it one way doesn't mean that that's the right way, or there is no right way.
Right.
Like,
you're right. And here's what I really like grinds my gears a little bit is when people think that very traditional, old school, possessive monogamy is the way to do it. And those are the people who have not been in long-term relationships. Those are the people who are very closed off to the idea that, you know what? Whatever happens between two people is the agreement between those two people. And
I don't know why I want to sit on it. Does that make me molested? I was like, I want to put that inside me. When you got to spread it a little bit.
But do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. But also those people, if it works for you, it doesn't mean it works for everyone else. It's so weird that there's like, and I think these things all came out to try to like help people with their sex life. This sort of like, well, you know, like to have a good relationship, you need to have like a healthy sex life or whatever. But then it puts things into both people's minds where it's like men are looking, I'm assuming that the men it's not always the case that the man is the one that's more sexual than the woman ever, obviously. But it's like, you know, it just puts in people's heads that there's supposed to be a certain amount of there's this thing outside of what your relationship is that you're supposed to be aiming for. And you're not like communicating with the person. Or I just don't like that feeling of like secret, because I think I have so much shame around sex that it's like, I'll like sneak masturbate and stuff, but it's so funny because we're like so in each other's shit. Todd always like walks in on me. Yeah. So that's great because that's like busting that from me, because I don't want that. That's like a shame thing. That's a thing where it's like I'm supposed to be doing this like alone and people aren't supposed to. I don't think for everyone, but I'm saying for me. Yeah. Well, like, you know what I mean? And it was like this sort of, because obviously masturbation is like, I mean, I think pretty great.
It is, but you know, there are still people online and wherever who are like very anti-porn, anti-masturbating. Obviously, I know Bobby took it to the point of extreme, but I know for me, like in my life, I consider myself to be someone that has a healthy sex life that also includes like doing it by yourself when you want to. Yeah. And there's no judgment on that, because it's like sometimes that is what you want to do.
Totally. And I think that, you know, you know, there's just, we gotta stop with thinking there's one way to just be sexually healthy.
You guys, we talk about a lot of crazy stuff today, and that's why I'm so glad our sponsor is BetterHelp, and we want you to check out BetterHelp at betterhelp.com/trashtuesday.
It's not just help, it's BetterHelp.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy, something we all need, something we think everyone needs.
And we honestly can't shut up about it, can we?
No. And you know what I want to talk about today is burnout. And that is something that I get a lot of help in therapy for. And I think we're all sort of collectively feeling it right now. Like the world is picking back up. We're go. And I think a lot of us are experiencing burnout and need help with that.
BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. And trust me, that's a good thing. On my really difficult days, I don't want to be on video with anyone. I just want to sit in a dark corner and talk to someone on the phone, and that's available to you as well.
Depending on the therapist, I'm not sure if I want to see them or not. I'm turning their camera off.
It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with the therapist in under 48 hours.
And you just can save $1,000 on gas.
Also, guys, we just really want to remind you that it's okay to prioritize yourself.
Yeah.
In fact, it's a necessary thing to prioritize yourself.
And you're hearing that from three co-host dependence.
It's actually not okay to not prioritize
Yeah, you
yourself.
have to take yourself.
Like, I feel like I learned that today just listening and being a part of this episode today. No offense. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Trash Tuesday listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Trash Tuesday. Annie, can you spell?
That is BETTERHELP.com/Trash Tuesday.
You guys, all the college babes out there, summer's around the corner.
Listen, the most Esther's going to do is use a little manscape in some areas. It's not going to be a lot.
We are very much okay with hair. We just need to feel like you care a little bit about, you know, our comfort. And part of that is just grooming and scaping.
Yes.
Have you ever gone down on a guy and then you just get kind of this like
Oh,
friction rash like around your on your face?
Yes.
Oh.
Or
my
how about
God.
when it looks like you've been laying on a pillow because their hair has gotten in your skin. It's just be good to us, okay? Just trim them. You are wanting that from us. We want it back. I use Todd's. Todd sometimes will put an A in there. He'll surprise me with some shapes.
Ooh, shapes. We love shapes.
Be fun. Have fun. I mean, we are a Manscaped household. We use all their products. Todd wears the underwear. We use the body washes, the ball washes, all of that.
And their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce his grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor. I don't know what it means, but it sounds fancy. A new multifunction on and off switch can engage a travel lock and gives him the ability to turn on our favorite feature, the 400K LED spotlight, on and off when needed for a more precise
we love the
shave.
spotlight.
I can't do anything without the spotlight personally, and when I'm manscaping my manscape.
For Christmas, every man in my life got the Performance Package 4.0 because they don't just have the trimmer, they have the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, they have the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, the Reviver toner, boxer briefs, their first shed travel bag even to hold his goodies.
And guys, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I like the travel lock too because you don't want. I mean, if you're going through TSA and your thing is buzzing, they're not gonna think.
It's a
They're just
razor.
gonna pull your dildo out. They're gonna pull it out thinking what it is.
Guys like nice things that are made for them too. Like, you'd be surprised. There's men in your life that would really appreciate this that maybe wouldn't get it for themselves. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code TRASH at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code TRASH at manscaped.com. It's time for him to trim off those spring flowers this summer and give his beach balls a shine with Manscaped.
To your point about feeling like we had to hide our masturbation,
Yeah.
it's so funny because like we were like overly sexualized
Yeah.
as kids, right? And I feel the same way. Like I sometimes I feel like a fraud because I talk about sex so openly with an audience, with you guys, but when it comes to myself, there's those tiny moments where I
Yeah.
feel like I still have to like hide my pleasure,
Right.
Or you know, like we talked about, like hiding my face
Yes,
when I come.
hide my face. I have to just
Yeah.
like force myself to be like, there is nothing wrong here.
Yeah.
Because it always reads as wrong. Like it's really hard for me. Like in sexual, it just feels like really bad.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, you know, like the perfect scenario. But how often is it the perfect scenario?
No one told us that we could enjoy it.
Yeah.
That they cared about our enjoyment
Yeah.
is why. It was their enjoyment, their pleasure was priority and
Yeah.
ours was secondary. And
Yeah,
that was
and-
most of our young adulthood.
And now I have a partner who is like I mean, I wouldn't say he's the complete opposite. Like he obviously enjoys his own pleasure, but it's like he is like, I derive pleasure from you having pleasure, from you feeling
Right.
good, from helping you feel good, making you feel good, or however. And it's just like so weird.
Esther, you
It's so awesome.
you look like you've always just prioritized your pleasure.
I certainly have gone through versions of things you guys are talking about, of
Yeah.
course. I will say I would personally like to outlaw the use of the word pocket pussy because it does imply to me that like a pussy is something that is like an object that you can grab and put in your pocket and have like a fake version of, which maybe that's
Hers
true.
left her body.
Yeah.
I'm
Mine took
imagining
off.
hers like the the gateway. Remember the old computers had the toaster oven with the
Like, how about it's either
wings?
like you want to fuck a person or an object? Like,
I see what you're saying.
separate those two. They're
So
not.
what should we call it? A contraption?
a consnaption.
Is it a sex toy? Is it a what? I don't know.
Well, what are we? Dildos, I guess, are a completely new word. It's not like a severed dick.
Yeah.
So you're saying maybe we should also not have veiny penis-shaped dildos.
You can. I don't know. I've never. Also, other misconception I've noticed is that guys think vibrators are dildos. Like, I don't think guys know
Right, they
the
don't know
difference.
anything.
Guys just think like all we want to use.
Carlos, chime in.
No, I just feel like I know the difference.
But you were married. That's why. I feel like if you've been married, you
Yeah,
know.
I bought like a rabbit vibrator for my
Yeah.
head. Yeah.
But guys,
But rabbits are both. The rabbit
Right, it
vibrator
has the
goes
tiny,
in
yeah.
and has the thing on top.
like I
He
have
doesn't know the
never.
I'm
yeah,
like, oh
guys.
yeah, she did put it in. Okay.
Yeah, guys don't know. Like I've never had a dildo. I've only ever had a vibrator. Right? Like I feel like everyone I know is like that.
I had a dildo phase, but it was
Really?
Yeah, it was short lived. I couldn't sustain it.
I think
There was one that like suctioned onto the wall. I was like, there are things you can do, but I'm like, is this who
is
when,
this
when there's no
for?
one else here? I'm like, who is this for?
How sad is it that you have to like then pull it out and then readjust because the height was wrong?
Yeah,
the
you're
first
like,
time you put
okay,
it?
wait. You're like, you're going up to the mirror, like, oh, okay, wait. You're licking the end, like, all right. It falls off midway. You're like, what the hell?
Also, I would like to picture you saying, "Who is this for?" and then calling me.
You're just on FaceTime. Oh, my neighbors could hear it. But I went through like a really kind of fun masturbation time where I had learned that you can like manifest well when you masturbate.
What?
So I used to, I used to put money on, this is when I was broke. Oh
Yes.
my God. I used to put money on my bed and I would like light candles, give myself like a whole experience, I have a silk leopard print robe, and I would just like woo myself. But also like I would like say out loud the things that I wanted while I was coming. And so I would say like Netflix or like whatever. And then I was like, I should have said Netflix special because it probably just gave me like $7.99 in my account. But I used to scream like Tesla when I would come. Like my neighbors were probably like, what the hell is going on?
I like can't even imagine using my brain to think about other things while that's happening. That's impressive.
But Annie has
I
a
can't
very
imagine the opposite. Honestly, I'm like doing my taxes in my head. I'm like, okay, gotta call my dad.
Another thing that, we were talking about how we prepare our bodies for doctor's appointments, for
Yes.
tiny things like that. I realize I prepare my body before I masturbate. I have to be showered. It's this weird fucking thing. I'm telling you, like, I wish I could just have even freedom with myself.
You don't have morning sex with yourself?
I don't. I have to empty my bladder. I have to wash.
Well, that's good. It's hard to
I have
come if
to-
I have to pee. I can't really come if I have to pee.
wash.
Yeah, I have to wash. I have to be like sort of like in what I consider like pristine condition. And I'm like, why do I do this to myself? Why can't I just be a dirty slut to myself?
I do that with
Yeah.
boyfriends sometimes too, where it's like, I'm like, oh, I don't want to like smell. Like Todd's always like, I like how you smell. Like I like, you
Yeah.
know, and I've had to have boyfriends really like talk me into that because I have so much like,
They're biologically
shame.
geared to want that smell, and
Yeah.
we're washing off that smell.
and it's like, I like smell like their balls for 2 hours afterwards.
Me
anyway.
too.
Like literally like they dabbed their balls, spicy ball.
And you know
cologne
how
on
like cum sort of smells like chlorine?
it tastes like bleach. It's like,
Wow, that's a very good cum you're swallowing. Because some of the stuff that I've gotten down my throat is not bleachy.
well, it's a competing brand, but I want to talk about it so bad. Todd takes Hims and it makes his
that's
semen
right.
thinner. Hair thicker, semen thinner is one of the things, which is so funny. Like, look at this skinny jizz.
It's so interesting you want to be so clean because I feel like the most like excited I get is literally when I feel so filthy. Like if I just had like
Well,
a
you would
cheeseburger and
never have
fries.
sex if that wasn't the case.
Yeah, that's true.
I've
but
told
it
you
is-
this, Esther. I
no,
really
it's
do want to
healthier.
get to that level of like fuck it. It's just let's be animals. Is
Yeah.
what he's like.
All right, we have to
He
have
does-
stinky pussy sex.
No.
this
Like,
week.
let's all.
I'm gonna try to stinky pussy masturbate
Yeah.
first before I move on to the sex.
Okay, because I was just like, eat a cheeseburger, feel gross.
Do I
and-
shove the cheeseburger up there?
No, but it's just like the way the cheeseburger makes you feel. You're just like, oh, I'm trash. Like, might as well fuck.
I think my problem though is like
that.
in
Genius.
sex,
Might as
my
well get
brain
fucked.
because I have dark feelings towards sex, my brain is trying to like disassociate and get to other places. So I feel like if I'm full, that might not help me. I'll be like, oh, like it's like my brain's looking for excuses to not have pleasure.
Also, it's like for me, the fear of possibly farting so loud when I come, it's just like a fear that like keeps me up at
Has
night.
it ever happened?
It has.
It's a fear that wakes Todd up in the morning, which is weird.
Yeah, because everything sort of like tightens, right?
Do you
And you're
not fart in
giggling.
front of Bobby?
I don't fart in front of Bobby.
You don't?
I finally did
Of
last
all
week.
the boyfriends you can fart in front, I have probably farted onto his face at some point. I
into
feel
his
like.
mouth directly.
Just really in an incredibly non-sexual
I'm
way.
so glad you guys are filling in that spot for me because then I feel like okay, he has no shortage of farts in his face. But I farted for the first time in front of him because we're working on things in front of him.
You're like in a therapy and they're like, squeeze it out, Khalyla. Squeeze it
Well,
out.
that's what I did. That's exactly what happened, and I ended up sharding because we had we were on the couch, and he was like, "Come on, like it'll make me feel so much closer to you." So I was like, "Okay, let me just brew one for you on the spot." But it took about 10 minutes, and he had walked away.
As it does.
brew. I can't brew one.
Oh, you sure can.
You can Hebrew one.
So he walks away, and then finally I had brewed one, and there was one in the chamber. So I call, I was like, Bobby, there's one. You gotta come, hurry before it goes away. So he sprints over to the room, and like with all my might, I push what I think is a fart, but it was only a half fart, half shit. And immediately he was like, babe, you gotta go check that. Immediately he was like, I never want to hear you do that again. He was so turned off. It backfired. He was like, please, for the love of God, never do that in front
I
of me
heard it
again.
front fired.
I love that he's the expert on sharding. He's like, I from what I heard, I know you need to go to the bathroom. right
Exactly.
now.
And you know what? He was not wrong. He was not wrong. I train
Now,
track
which
my
one of your
panties.
which one of your foster dogs licked that shit off their underwear?
Funny you ask. Funny you ask.
Annie.
You know what? Thank you for asking, because the truth is I call all of my dogs over if there's an especially dirty panty to be had. Esther, don't even lie. I know you do the same.
I don't call her over, but she finds me. It is funny. Sometimes I'm like, why today of all days? But she goes to town.
Maybe she knows when you're ovulating.
Yeah.
Because they do this thing where it's actually really cute, where they like
I saw.
they roll over it like it's a dead carcass. they put it on their cheek.
Oh, they're so happy.
They're happy.
And is that what boys want to do too?
Maybe.
Are boys just holding back? Is that what they're like
Carlos?
interested in?
Since you're straight,
Wait, you're
you-
straight today. This episode, you're straight. So
do you want to like
He's as straight as that
roll
lightning bolt of
around
his.
on a dirty underwear?
I feel like like any sort of musky like thing is like a turn on. So whether it's like the breath or panties or whatever, it's a turn on.
I like that.
Isn't
You're a
that
real
such a
man,
relief?
Carlos. Isn't
Ugh.
it such a relief you get to eat my pussy once a week?
While I watch.
That should be the next
My
thing on the
first
live.
stinky pussy sex is gonna be with Carlos.
Wait. I have an idea. The next
Esther
live
watching.
is Bobby has to figure out whose breath has your pussy on it.
Wait, or he has to smell her pussy and just guess who ate it out? Was it me or,
breath is
me
on
or
her
Carlos?
pussy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so Holy Week just passed.
Okay.
What is that? I'm Jewish.
As a Catholic, I'm here to tell you that for us, it was great growing up because we had the whole week off from
Yeah.
school. It's like a federal holidays for us. So everyone goes to the beach, and believe it or not,
Holidays.
the week, Holy Week is the week.
That's for you, bitch. Get
that's
high, bitch.
That's it, Annie. You're not wrong, because everyone gets as fucked up as possible. We go to the beach towns, or we go to places like Boracay, and everyone gets shit faced for Holy Week.
Oh, that's fun.
That was a tradition.
in the Philippines?
In the Philippines. Over here, you guys are kind of like really stiff Catholics.
All I know about Holy Week is that I'm not allowed to talk to my shaman for 7 days, and it is not good.
Why?
Because he's
Oh, he's rising too.
he's doing his he's feeling the Jesus vibes. I don't know what he's doing.
On Sunday, do you text him and you're like, Have you risen?
I'm back. Hello.
Yeah, I can't imagine someone telling you 7 days no talking. Like,
It's hard.
I don't know what that brings out of you, but it can't be good.
Wait, they have those retreats.
You know what
right?
it does? It makes me handle my own shit, and it's so sad that I need it. Like the other day, I was having this like meltdown, and I went to San Francisco, and I had, by the way, an incredible time. I mean, San Francisco is our people. I mean, it's our people. I came in, I was like, San Francisco filled with the two things I love the most, crabs and Asian people. I'm so happy. Like seafood and Asian people. But it was like so fun. The shows were like it was just so fun. But the first night, I just started talking shit and could not stop talking shit. Like, and because I talked so much shit on other people, it came back to me so hard later that night. Like I went back to my hotel room. Todd came the next day, but it was just me. Josh had gone to bed. I don't know with who, but Josh was away having fun. I was like alone. I was alone in my hotel room, and I started watching my sets from the week before at the Comedy Store, and I was high as shit. And every mean thing I said about anyone else came stabbing me in the face. Like I was like, I'm the worst comedian. I can't believe this. Like I just started feeling so insecure. It was too late to call anyone. I couldn't like soothe with anyone else. I had to just like deal with it, cry, feel horrible.
Good for you.
And then the next day, I'm like trying to call my hypnotist. Bonnie McFarlane had COVID. I was like, like my soothers, my people I call were gone. It's Holy Week. I can't talk to my shit. Like I was like, but I just had to get through it and then realize that it was a weird moment of just like allowing other people's, like, I don't know. I just decided to like.
Well, you know, that's like a common thing of like, if you're saying something about someone else, it's a scary thought when you realize it. But a lot of people say that means that's what your insecurity about yourself is.
Like a mirror. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true because I was talking some very specific shit. I was really getting to that. No, but it was just like, to what you're saying, like, I do think it's like you open up that channel.
Exactly.
And then, I think that it was like important for me to kind of like beat myself that way because why should I be able to just like throw it out and then not also feel that way for myself?
Speaking of self-flagellation.
Yes.
The flogging.
Our little floggy girl.
Yeah, so I remember of during Holy Week. This is why I always say the Catholics are so tame here. Like, what do Catholics do here? They go to church like
they fuck
Ash
some kids every once in
Wednesday,
a while.
and like, how do people celebrate?
You get
Holy
school off on Friday and Monday.
Week? Just Good Friday. That's
yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. in the
My
90s.
Uncle Carlo, every
What?
So close. It was so close.
my Uncle Carlo, it would be a fun thing for our family to watch him get crucified.
Oh yeah, they had stations of the cross.
So like for Easter, my family would go to the province, and then we would watch our uncle be crucified, and that was
Can you
a fun.
explain that?
Yeah,
No,
because we
what?
have to reenact the crucifixion of
But how
Jesus.
was he holding on to the thing? You
No.
obviously nailed him.
He gets nailed to
No.
a cross.
Every
What?
year you
Do
have to do
people
this?
look it up? Look it
up right now.
Look it up. It's a big thing in the Philippines. People get crucified every year. You have
What if Carlos couldn't type because there was so much blood coming out of his hands because he had done it this week?
reenactment?
He really is Uncle Carlo.
This next sponsor makes me smile and feel happy because obviously it's Magic Spoon and I love their
Being a
cereal.
kid.
Yes, that too.
Childlike behavior is to my right over here.
Smiley. You guys, we're all trying to eat better, and healthy breakfast doesn't have to be boring. By the way, I eat Magic Spoon for dinner. Magic Spoon has the amazing flavors you love, but without all the bad stuff, and it's amazing as a midnight snack right before bed, right after your set at the Comedy Store.
Or if you have GERD, you gotta wait. You gotta just, if you eat it, you gotta wait a couple hours before you go to bed.
It's 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, which is, I think, essentially what was missing in all of our cereal, because back in the day it used to be just all carbs and sugar, right? But now with Magic Spoon, you're actually getting
so
some protein.
We just got a new box. I'm so excited.
I know.
When I run out, I'm so sad.
What I like to do is I have it on hand at home, and then like when I'm hungry but I'm kind of craving something sweet, I'll be like, that's my dinner tonight. because it makes me feel full and it's satisfying and it's actually good for me.
Okay, you guys, it's keto friendly, gluten free, grain free, soy free, and even low carb. Go to magicspoon.com/Tuesday to grab a custom bundle of cereal today. And be sure to use our promo code Tuesday at checkout to save $5 off your order.
Also, what are you going to say no to? Cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, cookies and cream, maple waffle, blueberry, cinnamon, and plus the newly reformulated honey nut flavor. Come on, guys.
And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product. It's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. The fact that you just listed the flavors is making me so hungry. And I really want people, if you're Magic Spoon people, comment what flavor you like, because I'm Team Fruity.
And mix them up.
Team Fruity.
Remember,
Cookies and cream.
get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/Tuesday and use the code Tuesday to save $5 off.
Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode. But what is all our favorite flavors?
Oh, I'm a Frosty for life.
I do peanut butter and cookies and cream together.
Smart.
Fruity, Carlos.
Blueberry.
Okay, whose team are you on?
See, every year, reenactment of Jesus crucifixion.
And it was
in the
always your uncle. Was it
Philippines.
because he had the scar tissue already?
My uncle he ended up being a murderer, and he
Okay,
just
he was
actually
stuffing
got
blood
out
in
of
his
prison.
hands.
Yeah.
Your uncle?
Yeah, and I look back now, I'm like, well, of course. See, these guys, this is very tame. Back in the day, they actually used to just have volunteers really go through the pain of crucifixion. See, look, they have a nail through his hand.
Oh my God,
Do you see
he's
it?
crying.
That is crazy.
So you have the nail through his hand like that.
But they didn't give the straps to Jesus, did they? They just made
didn't.
him suffer.
Ours was just like a Mexican guy holding wood. Like
Oh
at
my
him.
God, who's wood?
So this
Are you
is
gay?
my Uncle Carlo. This is not really him.
Oh my
but
God, I
the-
was like, oh my God, he's looks
You
like
guys, I didn't like religion before this, and now
He's gangster. I like the girl with the dreads watching.
really uncomfortable.
The tourist is just hanging, chilling, smoking some weed.
But then some women too, they do the flogging. So they do the flagellation.
I literally feel like I'm gonna pass out. This is so disturbing.
But
to
he's
me.
happy to be doing that because he's feeling the
Yeah.
pain that Jesus
So
felt.
he's Jesus in this moment. He's a star.
That's sad. He's hurting himself.
You should never walk in on me masturbating, by the way, if you think that's bad.
Wait, I really want
That's
to know
where you're
your
wrong. I actually have walked in.
I really want to know everyone's O face.
I don't think I even have anything exciting for
I
that.
don't either. I'm very standard, as Bobby would say. He always says you have standard pussy and standard O face.
That's gotta hurt.
It does. He said it on the live. He was like, he didn't say I had a standard pussy. He said my smell was very standard.
I'm just telling you, after having dated a guy who said I have hypersensitive smell, I'm telling you, it's better for someone to say that than for them to just dangle in front of you that they can smell everything that you think they can't smell.
Also, how fucked up is it that to be called standard smelling would be the highest compliment I think I could ever get.
Because you were born so weird, you're just chasing being basic and you
normal.
can't.
Yes.
It won't happen.
Yes. Wait, back to something you said about like the shaman having Holy Week and having to be quiet for a week. I learned something about myself that it's just a lesson. Like, I had a friend who I would always talk to all the time, and all this person would do was complain. And I realized, well, they're just using me to complain. Like, this is so fucked up. But then low key, I'm like, what am I getting out of this? Why am I doing this? And I learned, oh, this is how I'm escaping from my problems, is taking on this other person's problems.
Right.
And it
seems easier to do that.
and I'm like, I've wasted so much of my life doing that. And
Yeah.
it really pisses me off. So I just kind of wanted to share. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we get these like little armies of people that we're like for, or they're with, they're with us, we're with them. And then you're just like, wait, I'm not, it's like, I don't think I said it on camera, but when I was doing ayahuasca and I turned my phone on too early, I wasn't supposed to have my phone on, and Khalyla right at that moment was like, did you see Kate Quigley overdose? I was like, it was literally like the worst moment. These 3 people in our field overdosed, 3 died, 1 survived, and I'm like, I was still tripping, and I had to consciously go like, Kate, I am like sending you all the love and light in the world, but you cannot be my journey. Because I already had to push off. A guy sitting next to me in my ayahuasca journey was like, when we were just sharing our intentions and stuff, he was like, before we did it, he went, you know, the mother of my children just passed away. And so I've just been dealing with that. And I literally had never met this man before. And in my ayahuasca journey, I had to be like, dead wife, you've got to go. This is not about you.
But
I was
Annie,
like feeling his pain for him.
If there was ever a symptom of codependency, it's that. Is that we're taking on other things that we should just not be taking on.
Ayahuasca will show it to you right away. Like, and I had one journey where I really went, like, because when I do these weekends, there's 2 nights that you do ayahuasca. And so one of the nights I did, my whole journey was, I was feeling so much guilt because I've been talking shit on people. And so then I had to feel the things, their side of all of our arguments. And that was good for me to feel that, right? Like to feel the other side. Like, oh yes, people are victims of me as much as I'm assuming I'm victims of them, you know?
Do I come up in your journeys then?
I've never thought of you. When I'm not with you, Carlos, I don't even remember you exist. But not the best insult.
I think the
I said that to Rami Yusuf once. He was like, do you think of me? And I went, I really honestly do not think of you unless you're in front of my face.
This is a good time for me to tell everybody that today is Carlos's birthday.
Well, and now I acknowledge happy birthday.
But I don't even believe that. Like, it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't,
because,
you don't believe it's your birthday? That's so good. You're learning, Carlos.
No, I believe that I'm higher up than Rami Youssef in your brain in reality.
You are.
You guys, I can't believe I'm going to say this. It was a bit I was working on, but I never quite figured it out. But I really wanted to do a bit about how, like, you know, everyone says women aren't funny, but I think we need to focus on the men in the world who are not funny to just like rebrand comedy.
Is that why you hang out with Carlos?
But like,
that is so mean.
That was fun. That was your birthday present.
No, that means we're doing banana break right now.
Okay, banana break.
You know, Carlos, I have a observation about, I'm going to call it an observation. It was really an initial complaint, but these
it's your
bananas
birthday.
are very green, but soft on the edges. So I know someone has slammed them down to the ground. I don't know who.
It's someone
Was that
at
a part of
Erewhon,
your
then.
birthday celebration? Slamming bananas?
Well,
I would never prank the bananas for you, girl.
Who slammed my banana? is
Carlos,
all I
what are
wanna
you
know.
doing to these bananas?
It's the Erewhon employee. He was in a bad mood probably when.
It's actually Erewhon, which you would know
It's
if you went there.
Erewhon.
It's weird that you have such a quick excuse, like that you know.
He just wanted to let us know he went to Erewhon for our bananas.
What?
He just wanted to let us know we went to Erewhon for the bananas, and I do appreciate that.
we actually, on a serious note, we really appreciate that the
Yeah,
bananas
it's
are good.
extremely easy bait. Give
I'm
them
so happy that we get to give you a job on your birthday. The one thing
place
he's been
to be.
looking for so long.
No, actually, I don't need a job. This is definitely charity to you.
I know, he's so rich.
Ooh, Esther. I wanted to ask you, since you're our Broadway connoisseur,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw that Pam Anderson plays Roxy Hart
in Chicago on Broadway. I know I'm going this weekend, and I'm like, I think I might get tickets. I've been researching the reviews.
She can't even breathe. She's talking so fast.
like I can't even believe it's happening. I love that role. I love her. People are saying she's giving a good performance, which the way they're saying it, I feel like is sort of to say like she's giving
not.
it. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to get a ticket though for Saturday because this is such a big deal. Like I literally can't believe it's happening.
It's just so funny that if she called me a Broadway connoisseur, I would be insulted.
and I'm like drooling on myself.
You're going to, where is she doing this, here or there? You're going to New York this
In New
weekend?
York. Yeah. Like, is there any star that if they were on Broadway, you guys would go, like, pay whatever it costs?
Myself.
Good answer. Honestly, my answer is you as well.
Got
Yeah,
to Trash
are we-
Tuesday play.
Yeah, are we doing a play?
Yeah.
By the way, how much better does our name fit now?
Why?
Because we talked shit now. It's fun.
Oh. I know whenever
do that.
Trisha Paytas mentions our podcast, she always calls it trash talk. And
It's
I'm
perfect.
like,
I like that people kind of like fuck it up a
Yeah.
little bit. It's funny. Trash Tuesdays. It's Trash Tuesday. People call it a lot because of the Instagram.
okay. And I did notice this. Are those fucking Skim socks?
They're Skim socks and Kanye shoes. I feel guilty
Don't.
to put them together.
No.
Iconic combo.
The kids are, that's good for the kids.
This is for North and
That's
this
called
is for
a
West.
yeah.
Yes.
Who can
time.
come at the same time? Has anyone
happens
ever done
every once
that?
in a
Oh,
while.
you know what?
Yes.
When a guy comes, it makes me want to come. It kind of turns me on. there's something about the kind of like because in that moment I know nothing is going on in their brain. There's not a thought behind those eyes, and for some reason it's just all physical and it turns me on. In fact, when I'm masturbating, watching a guy come makes me come.
You should
just can't see
watch
his
a guy
face.
listen to me talk for the third hour.
Why?
Todd
Why?
has nothing behind his eyes. I'm like, Todd has like the perfect amount of, I don't care when he's listening. Like there's certain times where I'm like, I know you're not listening. He just kind of smiles.
Todd on the third hour.
He's just like,
Glazed
we've been
eyes.
hearing this story quite a bit. He'll hear me do the rounds too. I'll call everyone and tell them the same story.
Like, I don't even think there are words for me to describe to you how much I literally, I'm in love with Todd. When I see him, I feel something so
He's
good.
so
He is so
good.
wise because when we're FaceTiming, he's always in the background and he's listening, but like passively, right? But then he chimes in once in a while and he says one just really profound thing where I'm like, oh my God, Todd, you're right.
Yes. And
Like if
he's
we're dealing with a
loving.
problem and he has this solution, all of a sudden he comes in with it and you're like, fuck, Todd, you're right.
Yep.
That has to be so frustrating that within one sentence, he always has a solution, but has to sit through 3 hours of you.
But here's the fucked up thing. He likes me.
Yeah.
He likes it. He
What a
doesn't have
feeling.
there's no like I feel no like talky shame, which I've definitely felt with guys. And trust me, if you're dating me and you're annoyed with me talking, my gut cannot do anything but talk more, faster, louder.
I think that is
Harder.
the sweetest thing. Like of all the things that I know to be true about Bobby and I is that we genuinely like each other.
Yes.
Like you can throw us in any different lifetime, dimension, fucking multiverse. We will always sit across from each other and say, I really, really like you.
Yeah.
I like everything about you. And I think that's we've had a very complicated last couple years. But when I'm on the phone with him, when we're FaceTiming and it's just him and I talking, I fucking like him
Yeah.
so much.
You know
It's
what?
the
You
best.
can't get to 10 years without that. You really can't. It's like, I noticed that too. Like, Dave and I, we have our shit, and he annoys me, and I certainly annoy him. But I'm always like, whenever we sit and talk, like, I like you.
Yeah.
I really like talking to you.
I know it's fun to have the partner that you go to because I always
I don't know if
like,
it's mutual, but
It's so funny. He's on a podcast saying the exact opposite right now. Yeah, no, it's really cool. He says the right things. He just knows me really well. He's also a very good judge of character. And I don't fully accept that yet, but it always in retrospect, he goes, I fucking told you. Like he knows, like there'll be people, he's like, that's not someone you should be talking to. And I'm like, come on, but they're at the coffee shop all the time, you know? He also does this thing where when I'm in any sort of mood that's not the ideal mood, he has the right song for me.
Oh, yes.
So he has like songs that he plays.
He's
for
your
me, and they're
personal
so good.
DJ.
He's the best.
He's the personal soundtrack guy. You know what I found out about myself 2 weeks ago after I read an article was I'm a crybaby girl. Do you know what a crybaby girl is?
no.
We're easy criers. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Like there's just a subset of us that cry to everything, and that's me.
That
I
is definitely not
resist
me.
crying
Good, bad, in between. I
to the
cry.
death.
Yeah.
To the death. I mean, I cry a lot, but
Yeah.
it's like I want to be crying a lot more.
And then
Like this is me holding. But when I was a
Did
kid,
everyone
I remember.
catch that?
I don't know. Did anyone have this as a kid? I was so scared of being like vulnerable and emotional in front of my family
Yes.
that I would like if someone we were watching Anna Green Gables, sorry, spoiler alert, Matthew, the grandfather or the uncle that's watching her or whatever, I don't know if it's her grandfather, he dies in one of the episodes. And I just remember going, it's just an actor. And I'm like 4 years old. It's like weird to know this, but just trying to like disassociate from any of the feelings. And then my mom would be crying and I'd be like, really, you're crying? It's just an actor, mom. Like judging the... But at 4 is like a weird
that
age
is a
to have
really
that.
weird
Why
age.
would
Did you
that-
cry to Land Before Time?
I would cry to them, but I'd be like choking. I didn't want people to see my like emotions. I didn't want people to see me like...
Land Before Time is a triggering subject for me because when I was little, all my friends, the Monday after that movie came out, the same time Jurassic Park came out, and all my friends at school saw that, and my parents, because I was watched, not raised. I was just a tag along. They took me to see Jurassic Park, and I was so fucking
No,
scared.
you were a skin tag, not a tag along.
Esther teratoma.
I was so traumatized and scared and so jealous that all the kids got to see like the fun movie. Anyways.
And then you never watched a movie again.
Yeah. But why would someone at 4 be thinking that way? That's what I'm curious.
Probably happened in a closet with Uncle Jack. Wasn't my uncle.
We should. That's
Don't call people that aren't their uncle. They're gonna molest them.
I had a revelation in the last 2 weeks that I was really afraid to say out loud before. And I think that my resistance to having children for so long is because I've had this feeling, this overwhelming feeling and thought that I've always wanted to kill my bloodline. That I looked at my uncles and my family members and saw just really shitty people growing up, that I thought I had carried this feeling of not wanting to perpetuate or spread seeds, or I wanted to be the last person like in line. Granted, they're all having kids. The bloodline's been perpetuated.
Yeah.
But if we
Now we gotta go kill them.
Yes.
And that's how our horror movie starts.
But yeah, that's and it was a really sad thing for me to like say out loud to myself and then say out loud to somebody else, where it was just like, what has been holding me back? Because I do feel some type of like maternal feeling of wanting to like raise children, and I do get those, like I watched this show called Old Enough and I cry just the whole time. I'm just crying because I see little kids do their first errands and it's so cute and so sweet. But then opposite side of that, I'm just like, I cannot, like it's gonna come out bad. My genetics are bad. There's mental illness, like just they're shitty people. We have shitty people in my family. And this competing thoughts in my head that just cannot come up. Like every day it's been such a fucking like mind fuck for me because I have those two competing things every day.
Do you think it's like comes down to like a self-worth thing?
Maybe.
Because it's like if you really are like loving yourself, you know that whatever child you have is going to be so loved and so taken care of. Like you're never going to repeat those patterns.
It's striking me as like so much overthinking.
It
like,
is.
Look at me as someone who literally was pregnant for 3 months, thought they were gonna have a kid. No thoughts like that ever crossed my mind. I'm like, I just was like, I'll figure it out. Like it'll be fine.
I used to say I didn't want to have kids. I used to be like, I don't want to have kids. And it was because I was still so angry and still so like, stuff was so not well inside me still. Like I was really afraid that I wasn't going to be able to do it. And the more I've worked on myself, the more I'm like, I can't wait to like teach my kids things that I learned. I can't wait. I've learned so much from my parents, like, and the forgiving of them and like how our relationship has developed since then. And it's like, there's no way I'm making those same mistakes. Like, I'm sure there's going to be things that I can't even, blind spots that I have no clue that are going to come out. And I think like the right partner is really like, Todd's not going to let me do anything to those kids. Todd's not going to let me fucking make those kids
maybe
unhealthy.
that is what I'm counting on.
Yeah, Dave's going to handle it.
Todd's not going to let my kids.
Todd just moves in with you. I'm like, Todd, can you come over to my house soon?
I'll let you guys in on a secret. That, which is why, I guess a caution to everybody that sometimes what you hear in a podcast is more oftentimes in jest, especially like for a show like Tiger Belly, where, the narrative has always been that Bobby wants a child and that I'm the one who has not wanted a child. And while those two competing thoughts of wanting to kill my bloodline and feeling maternal compete every day, it was about 3 years ago when I finally told Bobby that I was ready to have children. And it was exactly 3 years ago that his porn addiction became really, really bad. But then what used to hurt me a lot was getting messages saying, you're not giving Bobby a child, when I had already agreed to it and I was excited about it.
Right.
And then the sex just stopped. And immediately I felt like, oh my God, like, let me just go jump off a cliff then.
Feeling trapped. You must have been trapped.
Finally feeling like this was such a big decision for me to make, because I'm like, I'm so afraid, but okay, let's do it. And
then to be basically rejected.
And then I felt like just rejected. Like there were moments where I was just like, can we please like have sex? Like can we like, we have nothing to do right now. And it would just not get there. And I would feel like I just yeah, I'm gonna go kill
And then
myself.
like, what am I? And it's like also when you're sexualized young, so much of your worth is in your sexuality too.
Yeah.
And like,
so, but that constant narrative of the pressure of like people saying like you're a selfish bitch for not wanting to have kids. And I'm like, guys, the truth is like you don't know what's going on in our relationship.
Right.
And
No.
truly, like I have said yes to have it, to finally like
yes. Oh,
having
it's
a
the worst when you
child.
think you're like giving your, and then that is really
They're like,
hard.
actually, no.
I was kidding. I thought you would never agree to this. When I did DMT with one of my ex-boyfriends once, and I was like, had just catapulted through this like kaleidoscope of like, first of all, you smoke it out of a crack pipe, so you're really leaning in. It's like, it like literally it's like one of those glass things with like the ball at the end, and you cook it. So it's a weird thing, but it's a beautiful drug.
How long does it last?
Like 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, it's really short.
Esther,
But
we can-
sometimes
no,
people
well.
think they're there forever. I mean, you guys would love it, but you really would love it. But it's really,
Crack?
no. It's
DMT.
It's DMT.
Oh,
You do it in
okay.
a crack pipe.
I'm like,
That's
you
so-
do crack? We what?
You're like, well, how do I do it? That's next.
And my hand is out.
But anyway, so I like when I came out, I realized like the message I kept getting was like, I'm supposed to be a mother. And I had been really, really denying that part of myself and really afraid to even like entertain it. And so I came out and I just was still kind of fucked up. And I was like, yeah, like I think I'm supposed to be a mother. And he started fucking screaming at me and was like, I knew you wanted fucking kids. You were lying to me. Da, 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 all this stuff. And I was like, first of all, we didn't even talk about it.
Who was this?
Who do you think would
Yeah.
just scream at me? Wake me up in the middle of the night screaming at me. But it was like so crazy. And then I was like, that I didn't say with you, psycho. Because I couldn't have kids with him. They would have died. They wouldn't have made it.
No.
They would not have made it.
What I really hope for you, Khalyla, is maybe you didn't feel it then, but at least now I hope that you know not to take that personally,
Yes.
what
Yeah.
happened. Because it's so obvious that was Bobby's issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't him speaking to me. His addiction was speaking
Yes,
to me.
okay. And you know that.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
even if it
okay.
was him speaking, it's all his stuff on you. It's not
Right.
a rejection of you. It's like so obvious that it was something that he was like, yeah. And the minute it got real, it's like he's afraid. The way that you're afraid of what you're going to bring into the world, he must be dealing with something very similar,
Right. And
Good
I think the
call.
problem in our relationship then was that we're very ambivalent, right? Like we're just two people that just get along. So it's like all the hard stuff, we're kind of just like, all right, we'll still continue to be together. We're not really facing it head on. So what we're doing now is really learning to be uncomfortable with these like really tough conversations. Before we would just be like, all right, cool. Want to watch American Idol? You know what I mean?
Well, that's literally like the definition of human nature. It's like if you can find comfort, you just go to it and you stick with it. No one naturally wants to like have a hard conversation or like take a big scary step. It is something that you have to really be conscious of and put effort into.
There's definitely a psycho out there that likes it. There's definitely someone that's like ready for the confrontation.
us right now.
No, but Dr. Drew said this to me. I keep thinking of things Dr. Drew said to me, this magical man. But he was like, he said to me that he thinks I have a problem with grieving, and maybe you have some of that too. Like facing things or whatever. Like, because what you just said was
Codependent,
in
wanting
no
her to
way,
have what you have.
what you just shared with us to us did not like land sad. It didn't like, I can feel for you. I can understand what you're going through, and I can like understand you better now. But I didn't take that as like, you told me a bad thing or anything, or
Right.
that it was dark or anything. It's like really real, and it's like helpful to people to hear people just.
Thank you. And if there's anything we learned today is that your pussy can perish. And mine perished. Mine left
But
my
it can
body.
also be suctioned back to life.
It can be resuscitated as well.
And we're gonna find out what she manifests with that vagina, and then I can tell you the rest of the egg stuff tomorrow.
You guys, thank you for listening to this episode. I hope it was as therapeutic for you as it was for me and for these old sperms. Please subscribe to this channel, and thank you to everyone who came to the live stream. It was so much fun, and we really want to see you guys at the next one. If you missed it, we're going to have a lot more interaction. We're already planning the next one. We're very excited. And what else? Comment and let us know what you thought.
Comment. I'm not reading them anymore. I'm making bets with Todd now, where it's like I have to do things. I have to buy him a lobster, and I can't eat any of it. It's not. We haven't quite gotten the punishment right
That's
yet. but
fun. I love that shit.
yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Thanks, guys.